Week 1 is almost here, and the Chicago Bears just dropped their unofficial depth chart heading into the big Monday Night Football showdown against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I know it's technically just a soft version of the lineup, but if you're like me, you're always looking for clues. Who's rising? Who's sliding? Who's already in the doghouse before a single snap has been played? So, I dove into this depth chart with a microscope and came away with 5 pretty telling storylines that could define how the early part of the season unfolds. And spoiler alert, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. Let's not waste time. Let's get into it. The biggest headline that instantly jumped off the page, and not in a good way, was the situation with the second-round rookies. Yeah, all 3 of them. Luther Burden, A.Z. Trapillo, and Shamar Turner. None of these guys are listed as starters. None. And while we're talking about an unofficial chart, yes, technically the coaches can play with positioning all season long. When you invest 3 second-round picks, you're expecting at least one of those names to be locked into a meaningful role by week 1. And right now, that's not the case. Luther Burden, the highly anticipated wideout from college ball who turned heads on draft night, is sitting at wide receiver 5. Not 4. 5. He's behind DuVernay, who literally got cut and brought back during roster shuffling just days ago. Now, I know what you're thinking, but receiver roles vary, outside guys, slot guys, etc., and that's fair. But no matter how you slice it, being the 5th option at your position when the top 3 are already set in stone, that's not what you want to see from a second-rounder, especially not one with Burden's talent. And it gets even murkier with Trapillo. The offensive lineman is penciled in as a backup right tackle. Backup. That job at left tackle? Not his. That opportunity that was supposedly up for grabs during camp never got close to claiming it. He's firmly sitting behind Braxton Jones, and unless something drastic changes, he might not sniff meaningful snaps unless injury strikes, which again, for a second-round pick, feels underwhelming. Shamar Turner's case is a little different, but still not great. He's listed as the 5th defensive tackle. The last one, Grady Jarrett, Jervin Dexter, Andrew Billings, and Chris Williams are all ahead of him. He missed all of training camp, pretty much due to injury, and that probably set him back big time. Realistically, he's going to be inactive for the opener. You don't usually dress 5 defensive tackles, and right now, he's clearly the odd man out. So let's not sugarcoat it. This matters. These aren't late-round flyers or developmental projects. These are second-round draft picks. Guys who, by definition, should either be starting or, at the very least, pushing the veterans for serious playing time. And yet, none of them are there. It's early, and this could all change by mid-season, but this is the kind of stuff that keeps GMs and coaching staffs awake at night. You want your draft picks to contribute, and you especially want your day 2 picks to hit. If they don't, that's a problem. Now, while the rookies are making us raise an eyebrow, the battle at cornerback seems to have a much more positive resolution. It looks like Tyrique Stevenson has won the outside corner job opposite Jalen Johnson. And if you've been watching camp and the preseason games closely, this isn't a huge surprise. It wasn't exactly announced officially, but Stevenson is listed as a starter, while Terrell Smith, who was pushing for that spot, is a backup. Honestly, that final preseason performance by Smith might have sealed the deal. Penalties, deep completions given up, it wasn't clean, and in contrast, Stevenson played with more consistency. What stands out about Stevenson is that he's been steady all off-season. He didn't flash as much as some fans maybe hoped for, but he didn't make back-breaking mistakes either. And in battles this close, it often comes down to 2 things: who's been more reliable in games, and who has a little more cash with the coaching staff. Stevenson checks both boxes. He's the returning starter, and he's handled his business under the lights. There's still a little bit of drama here, though. Jalen Johnson has been banged up and missed some time, so if he can't go Monday night, which for now seems unlikely since he's already back at practice, Smith is still in line of play. But assuming health, it's Stevenson who gets the nod, and he'll have a huge opportunity to show the Bears that he belongs in this secondary, not just for this season, but for the long-term future. It's year 3 for him, and this is where careers started to find themselves. Is he a rotational guy? Or is he a true CB2 opposite one of the better cover guys in the league? That's what we'll find out. Let's move over to the offensive backfield, where things are a little murky, but not necessarily alarming. Roscoe Johnson is listed as RB2 behind DeAndre Swift, but if you've been following the team closely, you know this depth chart might not reflect the actual workload, at least not yet. First of all, Roscoe hasn't practiced recently. He's been dealing with lingering issues and has essentially been sidelined for weeks. That obviously plays a role in this decision. But beyond that, the Bears' backfield might be more specialized than we thought. If you read between the lines, Johnson's role seems to be shaping up as a short yardage and goal line back. That's where his physical style really stands out, and it makes sense to keep him fresh for those crucial downs. In contrast, rookie Kyle Manengai, who's now fully healthy, looks more like the true change of pace RB2. The guy who will spell Swift on normal downs and get the ball in more open field situations. So while Roscoe's position on the chart might look like a promotion, don't read too much into it. This is going to be a situational rotation. If Roscoe's not fully healthy, and all signs point to him still ramping up, then Manengai probably sees more action early on. But once Johnson is back, expect both guys to have their niche. Now, one of the more low-key but interesting developments is happening in the secondary. Nick McLeod has officially jumped Josh Blackwell on the nickel depth chart, and that's not just about practice reps. Blackwell didn't suit up yesterday, still dealing with injuries, and McLeod, the camp standout, continues to hold his spot. This dude is a journeyman, bounced around a bit, spent time with the Giants and the Niners, and now finds himself in Chicago trying to carve out a role. And guess what? He might have done it. Kyler Gordon is clearly your starting nickel. That's not changing. But behind him, McLeod looks like the next man up. And the Bears seem to be valuing his versatility. He can play outside in a pinch, has experience on special teams, and looks comfortable covering the slot. That kind of utility is gold in today's NFL, especially when injuries hit, which they always do. Blackwell, on the other hand, has primarily been a special teams contributor. He's got speed, sure, but he hasn't done enough on defense to lock anything down. If McLeod keeps this up, he could easily earn meaningful reps when the Bears go into heavy sub packages or need a reliable fill-in. Again, not a headline grabber, but a development worth keeping on your radar. Last but not least, let's talk trenches. Kieran Amegadjie, remember that name. You might not hear it much on Monday night, but he's quietly being tested at a new position. Listed now as the backup right guard, the rookie is shifting inside after failing to make a splash in the left tackle competition. And let me just say, finally, this move has been a long time coming. I've been banging the drum since last season. If you're going to keep a project offensive lineman on your active roster, and Amegadjie is definitely that, he has to bring more to the table than just emergency left tackle. The Bears are trying to unlock that value by seeing if he can play guard. And so far, early feedback from the staff has been positive. They say he looks comfortable. Now, he still has the build of a tackle. Long arms, big frame. But there were always concerns about his feet. Not quite quick enough for the edge, but powerful enough to potentially thrive inside. If this works out, it gives the Bears a major depth boost. He could become that swing guy who can play multiple spots. And in the NFL, if you want to dress 9 offensive linemen on game day, versatility is the key. The more he can do, the better his chances of sticking, not just this season, but long-term. So those are the early tea leaves from the unofficial depth chart. Again, take it with a grain of salt, but don't ignore the signs. There are definitely things worth watching here. The rookies who aren't playing, the veterans getting bumped, and the positional battles that might not be over just yet. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. The sports world is abuzz with rumors swirling around the Chicago Bears' potential blockbuster move, as whispers suggest that star wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr., previously a cornerstone of the Arizona Cardinals offense, may be making a sensational shift to Chicago. The excitement is palpable, with analysts and fans speculating how the addition of Harrison Jr. could transform the Bears' offensive dynamics. Sources close to team insiders indicate that negotiations have been ongoing, with both franchises reportedly engaged in serious discussions, though no official announcement has yet been made. The thought of Harrison Jr. lining up alongside the Bears' current core sparks intrigue, as his combination of size, speed, and route-running precision could provide quarterback Justin Fields with a premier target, potentially reshaping the Bears' aerial attack. Industry observers note that Harrison Jr.'s move would not only be a significant roster upgrade, but could also send ripples through the NFC, forcing defensive coordinators to reconsider coverage schemes. Fans have taken to social media, dissecting every possible scenario, imagining the explosive plays and touchdown connections that could emerge if the deal materializes. While some caution that trade rumors often inflate expectations, the consensus among insiders is that Harrison Jr. joining Chicago would represent one of the most impactful moves of the season, igniting chatter across sports networks, podcasts, and fan forums alike. Adding Marvin Harrison Jr. to the Bears roster would undeniably shift the balance of power within the NFC North, creating speculation that Chicago could contend more seriously for playoff positioning than in recent seasons. Experts have been analyzing tape from Harrison Jr.'s tenure with the Cardinals, highlighting his ability to consistently gain separation, track deep balls with precision, and maintain composure under pressure. Rumors suggest that the Bears' coaching staff is particularly intrigued by his versatility, capable of lining up both outside and in the slot, making it difficult for opposing defenses to scheme against him effectively. The potential synergy between Fields' mobility and Harrison Jr.'s reliable hands has sparked endless debate, with some predicting the formation of a top-tier quarterback-receiver duo capable of changing game outcomes single-handedly. Meanwhile, Cardinals fans have expressed disappointment at the possibility of losing a homegrown talent who provided multiple highlight reel moments, while Bears supporters are already envisioning a rejuvenated offense. Analysts speculate that the trade could involve draft picks or players, adding a layer of complexity and intrigue, as each detail could shift the perception of whether the Bears are making a savvy long-term investment or taking a high-risk gamble. The rumor mill continues to churn, feeding discussions on sports radio and online forums, where every leak is dissected for potential truth, heightening anticipation and fueling speculation about the future of both franchises. Sources hint that negotiations surrounding Marvin Harrison Jr.'s potential move to Chicago have been delicate, involving intricate discussions about salary cap implications, contract structures, and long-term team strategy. While the Cardinals have reportedly weighed retaining Harrison Jr., the allure of acquiring high-value draft capital or complementary talent in a trade scenario has made the proposition appealing. Bears insiders, on the other hand, are rumored to be contemplating how Harrison Jr.'s presence could immediately elevate their offense, particularly in red zone efficiency and explosive big play capability. The rumor has spread rapidly, creating a whirlwind of analysis, as pundits weigh the potential risks against the benefits of such a high-profile acquisition. Betting lines and fantasy football projections have already been influenced, with Harrison Jr.'s hypothetical move prompting recalculations for players, matchups, and statistical forecasts. Fans of the Bears have flooded social media with memes, reactions, and highlight reels, imagining every possible route combination and deep pass connection, while Cardinal supporters mourn the possibility of losing a player many considered a future star in the making. Even casual observers have begun following the sting and contested catchability to challenge defenders across the field. Rumors indicate that veteran receivers on the Bears roster may experience shifts in target distribution, leading to speculation about mentorship, competition, and potential locker room dynamics. Meanwhile, analysts highlight how Harrison Jr.'s skill set could complement Justin Fields' developing chemistry with his other receiving options, potentially creating a multifaceted offense capable of generating explosive plays in multiple dimensions. The buzz around this possible acquisition has also sparked conversation about NFC North rivalries, with Packers and Vikings fans reportedly anxious about the emergence of a Bears offense that could dominate the division with Harrison Jr. in the lineup. As the rumor continues to circulate, speculation extends beyond individual performance, encompassing playoff implications, team morale, and the broader strategy of roster building. Even without official confirmation, the media frenzy has already made Harrison Jr. name synonymous with Chicago, feeding a narrative of transformation, hope, and high-stakes decision-making that resonates throughout the football community. Social media platforms have become a hotbed for discussion about Marvin Harrison Jr.'s rumored transfer, as memes, speculative graphics, and highlight compilations circulate rapidly, capturing fans' imagination and igniting debates across multiple channels. Analysts and sports journalists contribute to the frenzy, examining potential trade structures, performance statistics, and matchups that could define Harrison Jr.'s impact on the Bears' offensive output. Rumors suggest that internal meetings among team executives and coaching staff have been intensifying, as the potential move could reshape strategic priorities, financial planning, and talent allocation. Fans of both franchises continue to weigh in, some celebrating the prospect of a receiver who could provide immediate scoring opportunities, while others express skepticism about chemistry, adaptation periods, or potential injury concerns. Fantasy football enthusiasts have also been quick to adjust projections, predicting Harrison Jr.'s significant influence on weekly scoring outcomes and league standings. Meanwhile, casual fans and mainstream media alike are captivated by the dramatic narrative, as speculation about Harrison Jr. becomes a recurring topic in sports news cycles. The intrigue surrounding his potential transition has fueled a constant stream of commentary, analysis, and conjecture, turning the rumor into a persistent conversation that bridges traditional journalism, social media chatter, and fan communities. The possibility of Marvin Harrison Jr. wearing a Bears uniform has transcended simple rumor status, evolving into a dynamic narrative that dominates the NFL discourse and exemplifies the blend of excitement, strategy, and unpredictability that characterizes professional football today. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.